Maurizio, ciao.
Hi, this is Lucy calling from Electra for your interview with Corey from Trivium. How are you?
I'm cool, thank you.
Good. Are you ready to get started?
Sure,
All right, let me give Corey a ring.
thank you very much.
Preview, you are on with Corey from Trivium.
Hello.
Oh, well, I think we just lost Corey.
Okay,
Let me call him back.
no problem. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. My name is Maurizio and this is for metalitalia.com.
All right.
How did you approach the songwriting for this one?
Well, we didn't really do anything different as far as the approach and the way we write. The only difference we did was when we were talking about starting writing the record, we did the first session we did where we just said, like, between Matt, Paul, and myself, we were just like, all right, each pick 2 songs that or demo ideas that we all liked and bring them in. So we each picked like 2 songs that we did, put together all those songs, and then for the next session, a couple months later, we're like, all right, we're only going to do 9 songs. So we have 6, and then the next round, we're like, all right, well, each one of us bring one song in, and we just kind of like based off of what we did in the first session, since we did like 6 out of the 9 songs. The second time we got together, we were just like, all right, well, we have 6, we need 3 more, so let's pick a couple songs that we feel like the record doesn't have yet. So we kind of based our selections off of what we felt the record needed to round it out and balance it out and everything like that. So we kind of did like kind of like a group approach, and each bring in X amount of ideas, and then we all kind of worked on them together and rewrote them and stuff like that. So we have never really done it like that, but as far as like the actual writing, we did it the exact same way we normally do it, as far as just getting in a room and jamming and everything. But I guess the group approach was we didn't want to really drastically change up what the band sounded like after how well the last record was received and did. We just wanted to kind of take that kind of building block and just build off of it and just make it better, just kind of use that as the foundation and build off of, instead of like going in a drastic sonic change or do something completely different, because people really love the last record. So we just wanted to kind of build off of what we left off with.
Well, a pretty democratic process. Did Alex Bent also put some work on the table?
Well, he doesn't. Oh, he didn't like write any like song ideas as far as like bringing in something to like, hey, let's work on this song idea. But when you listen to the record, like even on the last record, his drumming, like we bring in like riffs and like song ideas and stuff, and he really like his drumming really brings it to life and adds like a whole different dimension to the song in general. And like some of the stuff he comes up with is like nothing that like any 3 of us when we're like writing at home or like using like a drum program or something to convey a song idea. He can do stuff that like none of us would think about, and which really table. And then even writing these songs, when it comes to like a section where you have a riff or we want to rewrite something and we write an idea spot and Alex is there, and he just brings a whole different advice to the,
Okay.
yeah, that really kind of like, wow, that came out like, completely, different than I could have done on my own. That's the beauty of being in a room with, four people that creatively, are on the same page, that get along. I mean, what really put together that you just jam and throw ideas around the room. Cool stuff happens that not individually any one of us would have came up with. So that's what kind of like the magic of actually playing as a band and writing as a group is. You can kind of stumble on those magic moments that really bring a song to life or a part to life that individually you wouldn't be able to do. So Alex is a big part of since the last record, really kind of bringing that could easily be really stock drum parts to a level, which a lot of energy to these. The fans, Alex is drumming, so he's definitely making an impact with the listeners. So it's been pretty awesome.
Okay, can you explain us the album title?
The album title is something that I came up with as we were writing the record. Just like the previous record, beginning and then eventually got changed because we want to. I believe the
I'm sorry, Corey, can't hear you.
Sorry about that. My headset dropped out.
Okay.
So as we started writing the songs and titles and lyrics and stuff started coming together.
Yeah.
We originally had Catastrophist as a working title, but then as we were getting further along in the writing, we wrote the song that eventually became What the Dead Men Say, and as we were like talking it over between us and our manager, and just felt like that title had kind of a more to it that would kind of induce people to have more thoughts of what it would say. And Paulo got the idea from a Philip K. Dick story that he wrote, and it's just we just kind of all felt that like once we kind of came up with the song and the title, that we just felt it was a really good, really fit the vibe and the overall content of like what the lyrics kind of like are for the whole record, because a lot of the songs kind of touch upon a lot of the same kind of vibes and stuff. It just felt like a really good title that summed everything up really well.
Cover artwork also is pretty different from the Trivium standards. Is there a concept behind, and what is the artwork about?
The artwork just kind of, we had, it's kind of another thing, just kind of always kind of tends to happen. We kind of start off on one idea, and then it just kind of, as we're, kind of going about it, something happens where you just kind of stumble upon, you're like, oh, I think it should be this, because we were working on one, actually, we were doing the actual, we had somebody, we had one person who was working on the album cover and artwork and stuff, and then we were in Orlando, and we were doing the photo shoot for the band photos, the press shots, and the artist or the photographer we're working with was doing all this. We were doing all this really cool stuff with the photography with the band, and then he took some photos of these like decaying flowers. And then once we saw the pictures and stuff, we felt that the pictures he was doing was way more on along the lines of what we were kind of wanting to do for the album cover than like a drawn picture or something like that. So once we saw these photos, we're like, hey, we really like what you're doing with these kind of sample shots. Let's elaborate on it and stuff. So it's basically kind of, this in between where it's like, because a lot of the record deals with like life and death situations and stuff that's happened. So like the cover being it's kind of like the funeral flowers where you don't know if it's catching on fire or if it's going out. Like it's kind of like in between life and death state of you don't know which way it's going. So it's kind of like a symbolism with funeral flowers on a grave and also like fire and like, if it's on fire, if it's not on fire, it's kind of the in-between state. So it kind of really symbolizes what the Dead Men Say. Where the title kind of was pulled from was a story about people that don't know if they're alive or death, and it's like this in-between state of living. So it's it just kind of happened to kind of stumble upon it, which was kind of one of those happy accidents.
It catch the eye. I really like it. I got the chance to hear the album only a couple of times, I gotta say. If I had to choose one standout track, I'd choose the Defiant.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it as a single in the future?
It's anything's possible. We kind of like the way we want our records to be. We approached it. I guess you want it to be that way on all the records, but even with like on the previous record, regardless if it's a single or if it's a really aggressive heavy track or a more melodic song, it's like we just want every song to be as catchy as possible that it could be a single. So a song like The Defiant, we want that song or the hook of the song to be just as catchy as a song that's going to be played on like active rock radio. So we hope that just every song on the record people love and can sing along to. So regardless if it's a single or not, it's doesn't matter. We treat every song as we want it to be a single or have the potential to be a single. And even like the last record, originally Beyond Oblivion wasn't penciled in as like a potential song that was going to be a single at some point, but the fan reaction and on streaming services, it did really well. That it kind of like showed us that fans were really reacting to it. So we ended up making a video for it. So it became a single. So we'll just kind of let the record come out. We have plans for the pre-release singles of what's going to be like kind of the first couple songs that roll out, and then once the record's out, we just kind of see what the fans think. I know Matt. He's he absolutely is like a big fan of the Defiant. That's kind of like one of his songs that like he always tells people to listen to or shows people because it's like such a really killer song. So I think a lot of the songs have that potential once we see how everyone reacts to everything.
Do you personally care about that, or it's a choice of the management or of your label?
We always talk about it. But once we kind of finished the record and turned it in, had everything mixed and mastered and all that stuff, and really could hear the record from start to finish. A lot. We all just discussed about it with our manager and label of just like the songs, like which ones are sounding like the ones that would be really good for when we release the record. Whatever the first song's like, you really want to the first song you put out, you really want to use that song as like to create the vibe and the narrative of how you want people to perceive the record. So we all discussed and were everyone was really stoked on Catastrophist being the first song people hear. And then, and then we were just like, all right, the follow-up single, before the record comes out, the next song, I think we should do this song because it has a little bit different of a, still the same vibe, but also it's a different kind of monster of a song. And then when we talk about like radio songs, it's like we always have a different, you always kind of know which song or two is kind of fits that, part of the picture and everything like that. And then once the record comes out, it's just kind of like if we need to do a single, then it's kind of go off of like what we feel has been like the songs that have overall have created more of a, I guess, stirred up the pot a little bit, as far as like fan comments and stuff like that. So we definitely have more of a game plan for the pre-release, and then after that, it's just kind of going off of how the record's received and what songs people gravitate towards.
Okay. Trivium stopped for all 2019. You got a pretty big break. What have you done in that period besides of working on new Trivium songs?
Not much. Once we haven't really done any tours in a while. So Matt, obviously, him and his wife had twins. So just been, he's been busy with that. That takes up a lot of your time. So he's been doing that, and other than like the little breaks that we took, where we to write and record the record really didn't take a lot of our time. So that was that went pretty quick. We wrote the record. I don't know, it's probably like with writing and rehearsing, we put all the songs together in probably about like 2 weeks, maybe, or less than 2 weeks.
Whoa.
And then we recorded the record in like 20 days. So it's like that, making and recording the record didn't really take a lot of our time. And other than that, we've just been, I guess basically you just call it vacation time, because we've just been kind of hanging out at home, just doing whatever. Polly's up in Chicago, and everyone's just kind of just not, doing whatever they do to fill their day. Like, it's been a very, the last year has been very, very chill, so it's kind of nice with the record starting to unfold and tours being announced and stuff, that finally have more to do after all this time off. It's been a lot of free time that we're not been used to for the longest time. So from all the nonstop albums and touring and stuff, we're just been homebodies. So it's been a change of pace. So it's gonna be nice to get back out on tour.
Is it hard for you to switch to touring mode?
No, not really. Well, usually, like if I'm at home for all this time, or like even before, like in between tours, if we were touring for a lot and then had like a couple weeks off, I'd spend a lot of time in between tours, working on song ideas and stuff. But we've had so much time off that it's like I wrote a lot of stuff for the new record that it's, I still have like about like 7 songs that we didn't even get to for this record, that I kind of had so much time. I wrote a lot of stuff, and now it's, since the record's coming out, it's, there's not like any, like, I guess, urgency or anything to have new material ready at the moment. So I just been, I don't really have a lot of other hobbies. It's kind of little can be boring at times, just because when you get up and you don't have to go anywhere or do anything, there's kind of I guess, a lack of stuff to fill up your day. So that's I've been spending a lot of time just collecting guitar gear.
Okay, spending your money.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. We actually in Italy we have a medical emergency. This virus, coronavirus, is a menace for all the touring bands, and we have stopped here in Milan all the live shows. This is potentially a menace also to you as a touring band. How do you live this moment? Is it a thing you can think about, or there's a potential outbreak also in the US, I think?
Yeah, I don't. It's definitely probably for the short time, since it's such a new thing that's kind of popped up. It's probably going to disrupt a lot of touring, just out of I'm trying to think of the word, just to I guess whatever they can do to lessen the percentage, of just people being exposed. Just because concerts are obviously, you get a lot of people together, and it only takes like one person to cough in a mosh pit or something to get someone sick.
Yeah.
But I think it's like with a lot of stuff, it has its it happens and it disrupts some stuff, and then eventually it kind of gets under wraps, and you kind of get back to normal. I remember we were touring. We flew to Japan to tour or play some shows in Japan, like at the height of when the swine flu broke out, and we kind of made our way through that. But it's definitely, luckily we're kind of not in full tour mode yet. So hopefully by the time we start doing a lot of shows, things will be hopefully they'll have everything handled and figured out where they can, control it better. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. It definitely affects a lot of things, and besides concerts. But we just hope that people get better and they can figure out how to prevent people from dying from it. Yeah, we're just kind of keeping an eye on it, and then hopefully everyone just hopes that can figure out how to prevent it from being something way worse than it already is.
You've been announced as a supporter for the Metal Tour of the Year. It's an enormous tour with Megadeth, Lamb of God, In Flames. Are you looking forward to it? And do you think it will come to Europe also?
Right now, it's we have just the two back-to-back tours in America or North America.
Yeah.
And then we've been working on a tour that's pretty much wrapped up as far as getting all the details booked. That will be for early next year in Europe. That it's nothing with the Megadeth Lamb of God tour. We're not doing in Europe, but we have another really big tour for Europe for next year that's being worked on. So that won't be announced for a couple months, but we do have plans in the works for a big Euro tour. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a really cool lineup that I think fans are going to be pretty stoked about. So we'll just have to, can't announce it yet for legal obligations, but it should be announced sometime in the summertime.
Okay. I see there's a lot of cool pre-orders options out there for the new album. Are you a vinyl fan or a t-shirt maniac, or are you into streaming?
I think vinyl is really cool. I have a bunch of vinyl. I don't have a vinyl player, but I do. If I see a record that I'm a big fan of, like especially all the stuff I listened to as a kid, like all my favorite albums growing up. If I find it on vinyl, I usually just buy it just to collect it. I don't really listen to vinyl because I just the convenience. I just listen to like Spotify.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I know fans love all the options and stuff, and we really tried with the pre-order stuff to make the options different and unique, and not just like the standard. All the artwork is all over the same stuff, and also the color options and stuff. Not everything's black, so it's got different options and stuff that makes it unique and not like the Metal 101 kind of look. So thought we did a really cool job with making a unique, different looking, bundle options than that a lot of bands normally do. So hopefully everyone's picking them up or buying them. I haven't seen which one's the most popular yet, but
okay. That's all I got for you. I thank you very much for your time again. I hope to see Trivium soon. Hope to see you live soon.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.